To be a successful entrepreneur, you need to be maximising both profit and cash. But which one of these is more important, especially when it comes to small business? Well, today in this video, that's what we're going to answer. So profit is, of course, the money that's left over from your revenue by the time you've paid for all of your expenses. And I think it's incredibly important that if you're deciding to run a business, that you are being rewarded for the effort that you put in, and that as an entrepreneur, you are thinking about your business in this way. You should get paid a salary for the job that you do in your business. Now, that salary may happen to be in the form of dividends rather than salary, purely for tax reasons, but you should make sure that you've been compensated for the job that you do, and then separately you should be paid above and beyond for being an investor in your small business. You need to get into the mindset of thinking like you're investing in the stock market. You wouldn't put your money or your time and effort into another company for absolutely no return, so you shouldn't be doing it with your small business either. So as a business, if you're not making any profit, then you are not getting paid for the risk and rewards of being a business owner or an investor. But big companies don't always make a profit. Now, of course, there will be some years where we have these massive one-off exceptions, and let's call them accounting adjustments, where we might hear of these big businesses that make a loss for 1 or 2 years in a row. I'm not talking about those businesses. I'm talking about the likes of Tesla and Uber and Dropbox. These are massive companies that all traded at a loss for over 10 years. And even some of the well-known tech firms like Meta, Google, and Apple traded for over 5 years at a loss too. But the reason that these businesses make a loss is because they were investing so much money in building the business to guarantee future profits to them. So they incur significant costs now, but they expect to get even more significant profits in the future. Now, the problem with running at a loss is that your business is not generating any cash, and you have a bucket load of cash going out, but no cash coming in. And the way that big businesses deal with this is they simply buy cash flow, and they will raise millions and millions from investors in exchange for equity. Now, there is a cost to this because you're not paying interest to investors, you're giving away a portion of your company, which means that those investors will take a proportion of your future profits. But that is how these big businesses can keep going for so long when they're making a loss. So therefore, if you're a big business, then usually cash flow is more important than profit. And we can see this time and time again, where these big businesses make zero or negative profit for a number of years, and yet people are still willing to put their cash into the business. Therefore, cash is king when it comes to big business. But in the small business world, it's very different. So let's take a look at why. But first, if you want to find out if you've got what it takes to run a profitable and cash-rich business, then make sure you check out the free profit cash growth assessment that our team has built, especially for small business owners just like you. It takes less than 5 minutes to complete, and we'll tell you where your blind spots are and tell you exactly what you need to do to build a profitable cash-rich business. So check out the link in the description or in the comments below too, or you can visit our website and you will find a link there. So back to the real world of running a small business. Now, in small businesses, the option to buy cash flow are very few and far between. The reality is that investors are just not interested in small businesses. Investors typically want turnover of millions that has got the potential to reach hundreds of millions, if not billions. And alas, unfortunately, these smaller businesses in the UK that turn over tens or hundreds of thousands are just not of interest to most investors. So your chances of raising investment are very, very slim, and this should not really be where you're putting your hopes and dreams. Now, some people will say, what about crowdfunding? But honestly, crowdfunding, hardly anybody secures crowdfunding in the UK. You will hear a few stories in the media saying about these one-off companies that have been able to support themselves using crowdfunding, but it's incredibly unusual. If you go onto any of the well-known platforms, you will see hundreds upon hundreds of people asking for money that just simply have nothing pledged to them whatsoever. So again, crowdfunding is not an option. So you could look to go to a bank for cash flow, but a bank is very unlikely to give you a loan if you're not a profitable business and you're not generating any cash through revenue. So again, you don't really have an option to get a bank loan. Often you will be able to get a small business loan, but that's likely to actually be a personal loan that's secured against you personally, and so therefore we're not putting that in the same category as this at all. And because it is so incredibly difficult for small businesses to buy cash, this is why I think that actually profit alongside cash in small business comes in equal measures. And as a small business owner and CEO, you have to find this constant balance between profit and cash flow to keep your business viable. At the end of the day, there is no point generating loads and loads of profit in your business if you're not able to convert that into cash. So if you've got loads of money tied up where your customers are just not paying you quickly, or you've got loads of money tied up in stock or assets or something like that, that's no good either. But likewise, as a business, you're not going to be able to generate cash if you don't have any profit. So if you're a super big business or you've got ambitions of being a super big business, then absolutely cash is king. But if you are a small business owner, then you need to be focusing on maximizing profit and maximizing cash flow alongside each other. One is not more important than the other. And if you're interested in finding out exactly how to do that, make sure you check out our other videos, because that's exactly what we do at Profit Cash Growth. We are finance directors and chartered accountants, and we share with you hints and tips in order for you to increase your profits, improve your cash flow, and grow your business.